Every song that anybody ever heard of that they love was only played that way one time.
This episode, we caught up with Ioakim Petridis. You might know him as Ike at the Tawa Open Mic Nights. His style could be described as moody or trance-inducing music. Ike's influences include Nirvana, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, and several others. Ike is a fan favorite of the crowd and has a unique sound and style. Ike was born in Germany to Greek parents and came to America when he was 15. He comes from a musical family. Ike's dad wrote poetry, and his sister performs Greek folk music. Ike always seems to get lost in any good music. Let's see what Ike has for us today.
I'm not the decider of what you are and how it feels to you, and that's the most important thing. It's
That's what it's.
That's
Because
we're all. This is the thing. Like it's for me. I want to be around people that know that it's a journey to get to where each of us want to go.
Are you
right?
seeing any levels?
It's a journey, right? That's the fun is part of the journey, exploring what will sound good, what won't sound good, right? And like if I'm singing some things that don't sound good, I want to be comfortable to do that so that I can get to so I can find that place. Because if you're like you can't just blurt out stuff that'll sound great all the time.
So we're here in the woods of Reading. We're actually in Reading?
We are in Reading.
We're actually in Reading.
That's right.
With Ike.
Yes, hello.
I know you have an actual first and last name other than Ike.
Right.
So
that is Ioakim Petridis. So Ioakim, if you want to say it in Greek. Ioakim.
Ioakim.
See that? Yeah, it's all Greek to me.
That's why we just at Tawa we just go Ike.
Ike. That's right. That's easy. And that's the reason my name is Ike. That's it. Yeah.
How'd you end up here in Connecticut? Were you born and raised in Connecticut? Or?
I was actually born in Germany. My parents met on the train after World War II on their way to Germany. And so they had a family over there. They got married and had a family. Me and three of my sisters were born in Germany. When I was born, father wanted his son to be raised in Greece, so we moved to Greece. And then we came here when I was about 15 years old. So that's my story on that front.
And where did you settle here?
Oh, we first moved to Norwalk. I was there till I had kids, and we wanted a better school system for my kids to go to. So me and my ex moved to Reading for that reason. And that's how I've been here for now 20 years about. Yeah.
And collecting cars ever since.
And
and guitars.
You know, there's a reason for that. Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Well, I feel like it's good to have two cars because one always breaks down and you got an extra.
It's like having two guitars.
It's like having two guitars.
You always bring two guitars to gigs, right?
That's right.
I need to buy another one. But anyway.
Guitar I can sell you.
So, how'd you get into music and anything? What was your first instrument? Was it always guitar?
Actually, my first instrument was a keyboard. I was obsessed with Kit back then, so my first song I learned was, the
Knight Rider theme.
Yeah, I can't even remember it right. So that was that, and then I learned the bouzouki, and I learned Christmas songs on the bouzouki. You know what a bouzouki is, right? The Greek instrument.
Yes. Well, you could explain it to the audience.
Right. So the bouzouki is just like a guitar, but it's got 6 strings still, but they're divided. They're like congested. The two each one, like there's 2 of them that make one sound, so like it sounds richer in a way. Mm-hmm. And I did Christmas song, Christmas caroling with that, and made some money on doing that with that.
Yeah, but that's what got you into.
That's what
really got you into actual music.
I think I was always just enchanted by it, just like like I was in a trance. Every time there was a show on, I was like totally like, whoa.
Yeah.
It
calls to you.
Yeah.
So I always say,
you're born with that or whatever.
Choose bass, the bass chooses you.
Right. Your passion calls to you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Was there music in your family?
Yeah, there was music in my sister's actually a singer. She's a Greek folksy kind of singer, and her name's Sophia Zinis. She sings around here. Greek people will know her if they watch this. My dad, is musically, you know, he writes poetry and he plays the accordion. So yeah, it's in the family for sure.
A little bit of an interlude there while we fix the camera. Was there any particular artist or songs of like when you were younger that really inspired you to music? You know, anything in particular, or was it just everything?
Well, like I said before, like most music will enchant me in some way, but I mean, Bon Jovi made a big impact on me, like right off the bat, you know. In many songs of his, like, and then I got into Motley Crue, like heavy, like, and then I got Guns N' Roses. It was like Guns N' Roses is like, I would say, my favorite song, my favorite band in a way, because their full album is like every song is killer. Like, it's not like a lot of bands, they come out, there's like 2 songs that are great on an album, but like bands that have a full album like Motley Crue, I'm just naming 80s stuff now, but I feel like a band should put out an album that is proud of every song, not like they're proud of 3 of their songs, or those get marketed. I don't know why they get marketed, but
That's the greatest mystery of the music industry.
Yeah.
Of what gets marketed and what doesn't get marketed. I think those complete albums don't exist. Like, you don't sit down and listen to an album and find those deep cuts of songs that you used to, because you can just pick your one song, put them in a playlist, those one songs you like, and I think that sometimes that's a little bit lacking. But on the flip side, as someone like yourself or something, it's much easier to get access to put out your music.
That's true.
Now,
for sure. Yeah, I feel like the reasoning behind that, we had a more intimate relationship with the music. Like, we actually opened up an album, read through the lyrics, listening to it as we're reading it. Yeah. So that those moments were, more personal. Yeah, everything is out there for us to check out. And yeah, if we make an effort to find the stuff, we might find stuff that we can get into. But it's almost like it's too much all over the place, and I feel like it's not in one place, you know? I don't know. Like, it's not like you could find genres aren't genres anymore. Like, if you were a metalhead, you were a metalhead, and now it's like everyone listens to everything, and everything is sort of watered down in a way, and almost imitative, you know? Like, as far as everybody wanting to sound a certain way, or...
Well, I think those unique voices might not be coming out, but I think there are some out there if you look for them. No, I don't know if you can think of any off the top of your head.
Like recent?
Yeah.
No, not really. The truth is, I've stopped like diving into new things anymore. I just haven't found anything that, like, I've heard like passing new things. Nothing has pulled me into it, you know? What's funny is actually things that I haven't heard from the past have came back and pulled me into them, like Candlemass. I don't know if you've heard of Candlemass.
No.
It's like a heavy metal band, but I'm just surprised I never heard of them, and then I rediscovered it, kind of, or I discovered it, but I'm surprised I didn't know it back then. But yeah, I feel there was definitely something back then that was just more intense in some way, like realness maybe. So like if the singer was singing a song, it was who he was. It wasn't like he was singing a song that he wanted to be popular.
Are you feeling like people are just doing stuff to be famous to be famous?
Like they're picking a vibe that's out there and they're making it their own. They're doing their best to make it unique, but they're sort of like setting, it's almost like I feel like they're setting themselves aside, because you don't hear that many different things happening. There's some spatial music that's cool out there now, like that they're doing like with almost like what I would call techno kind of stuff, but
Like Beyonce singing country.
that's different.
Other issues, right?
Well,
there.
I think
that goes back to your point of just singing something.
Yeah.
Country's the big thing
Right, like
now.
yeah, like
so
she
let's-
just picked that, she became that,
Right.
and that's not we know that's not real, right?
Right.
So like the realness of like the artist, I think, is fading, like because yeah, everybody wants success, and there's people promoting things, but I feel like the realness is like somebody singing about their shit, like their stuff, like their what they're going through, and
So just kind of like, how would you even describe what is
right.
your thing?
I mean, if I were to, I would have to compare it with different bands. I would have to use Nirvana as far as like the sensitivity kind of realm that exists. I think that I look for when I come up with a song. I want it to make me feel things, and then then you don't want to get in your head too much. So you have to have your songs that are like a little more aggressive. You're more outwardly like an Offspring kind of sound. If I were to compare bands as far as like my type of what my influences are and stuff. I always thought like vocally my heroes are like Sebastian Bach from Skid Row. So it was like range, pop. Back then it was like range, power, ability. That had matter. And then we got into like the 90s where sensitivity mattered, right? And then for me it's sort of merging those two things in different ways.
Would you consider yourself a guitar player or a vocalist first?
Oh, I would love to just be a vocalist, just to focus. I could totally unleash if I could, but it's because playing guitar kind of takes away from where I want to be emotionally, because like there's a mechanical aspect to it, and you want to be lost in it, and you can't always be lost in it when you're trying to pay attention,
Funny how that works.
Well, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
So why haven't you hired a guitar player to back you up?
Oh yeah, that's a good. You know what? That's it.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
So when you put a song together, are you coming up with guitar riffs first and putting words, or you have an idea for something like
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is the process of putting those together?
No, for me it's always the riff that comes in first, and then I have fun on that with when you first come up with a riff, it's really nice because like it's exciting because or else you wouldn't be trying to make it into a song, and then you get to sing, you get to just blab, you get just like almost like it doesn't matter what you say, and you could talk about your day, you could talk about just whatever's pissed, anything, and then eventually something like will something will kind of like put its claws into like that's what it is, like it'll just come into being, and then you're like you got that thing, like that song I just came up with this riff recently. It's kind of like a that's a good kind of like feel, right? But right now, this is a brand new thing. I just did. There's nothing on it yet, but like what I would just be like. Just got out of work and came up with this jam. I'm a little hungry. I think I'm out of hand. Just get it. is there now, but I'm sure that's not what I'm gonna keep. You know,
Right.
it's just gonna I'm gonna probably some things come and they come right away. Some things like you want to keep that. The thing is, I love this riff that I'm playing, and so I'm gonna take my time before I land on it. The permanency of what I hope will be not permanent. I don't like things to be permanent too much, so I like to keep things a little on. It's important what you kind of stay with and what you think of it is that's your song, because you can always change it. It's your song, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's good if you give that freedom to yourself, because it tends to get stale over time. Even if you come up with something that's really you're excited about at the moment, if you keep playing the same thing over and again, after a while it gets a little stale. So it's good to keep it open.
You don't want to lose that being in that moment kind of thing.
Yeah, that's important.
You don't want to give it up too early either, where you go, okay, these words are good enough.
Yeah,
You
no,
make
for
sure
sure.
they're the right ones.
Yeah, you gotta definitely keep it open. I think you should always keep it open, because you also have other people that come in to play with you that present a different energy, and if you don't follow that energy and you just try to make it what you thought it should be, then you're fighting the future in a way. You're just fighting, you don't want to be fighting. You want to just go with the flow to some degree. You gotta have some structure, and then some freedom, just you have the format.
It's almost like it's the whole thing. You learn the rules so you know how to break them.
That's a good thing to say. Yeah, that's good.
What song would you like us to play along with? One of your songs.
Well, there's one that's pretty straightforward. It's just it's on A minor, and this is the rhythm, the riff. The only change goes to G after at one point. No, I'm sorry. F goes to F. I know which one you mean. Yeah.
Pushed up a half step on the. Yeah, that one.
It's gonna be a good ride.
there's like it's always nice. I like it when like the song ends and there's like this moment, you know. It's like I think we just had that one here and on the other one too, right?
Yes.
What I like about that
It's almost like
song
waking up in some way. I don't know.
is the lead up to the F on that.
Yeah.
Because I have a hard time following. I don't hit the F when you do. I hit it when you do the push up on the
G.
G,
Okay.
which tends to push it early up to the F.
Oh.
But that's what you're doing is
Um,
throwing it into a suspense chord or something
Yeah.
like that.
I don't even know what I'm
It
doing.
drags my quite a lot with it.
Who cares what you're doing
what
as
I
long as
call-
it sounds good, right?
It
He
sounds
grows
good.
a song. He grows a song. What Ike will do is nurture, cherish, and sort of grow a song. That's the way it feels when
Yeah.
doing it with you.
I feel like when you talk about chords and when you talk about like measures and chords and like you go into the cerebral realm of what you're doing and the mechanical realm of what you're doing, but there's an element where like it's like you're on drugs or something and you're connected to something. With music, you're connected to something that is not here. It's not in your head. It's not in measures or chords. It's it's in the room, right?
Well, there's something about music that's unattainable and it's like you can't grasp it. Any other art form, I put paint on a canvas and it's there forever. Or I'd make a sculpture, right? I do that, and yes, in that moment I'm making it, but that thing, whatever I created, exists as that thing forever.
Right.
And even though I can write music down, I still have to create it with my voice, my instrument, with something else, and then it's out there, and once it's out there, I hear it and it's gone. The greatest thing about music is because it's every time you do it and perform it, it's a new creation each time.
Absolutely. Every song that anybody ever heard of that they love was only played that way one time. That's it.
That's it.
And that's amazing.
Having the I don't know the almost the strength to do it, to allow your music to constantly evolve is a great thing, I think, actually.
That's interesting you say it that way because you're right. Like there's a certain level of uncertainty you have to be comfortable with, right? So it takes a little bit of courage to put it out there and then not knowing what's going to happen. Yeah. So that's interesting.
Yeah. But what one thing about yourself that you think people would not know based if they only saw you performing?
Maybe I think most people in Tao and like the open mic places do know it because they go through it. So, but most people wouldn't know what a musician goes through when they're performing, because they see the performance and they're happy with it and they think it's great and they'll come up and tell you, "Wow, man, you're amazing," and you're thinking to yourself, "I really fucked that one up. Like, how could this person think that?" And like you're being really hard on yourself. Yeah. And it's nice to be doing what we're doing in a place full of musicians because it's a place where you realize that that's okay to be going through that,
Yeah.
But having a little bit of that vulnerability, I think, is especially when you come to songwriting. I mean, you're putting your own emotion into that, and you're exposing that.
No, for sure, because you're being for real, and you'd like to be accepted, and I think it has to do with that as well. We're up there to some degree to have a positive feedback, I suppose, or at least for our own experience of going through it, or our own acceptance possibly. And so, why else do we play for others, right? Like, so that it's got to have something to do with that.
Have you recorded any of your stuff?
I feel like it's dangerous to record because you're trapping you're trapping the song. To really record a song the way you have to have a band with the right like Morgan is the right person for what I think is the band. I don't want a band with just a great drummer and a great guitarist and I want to have a band, a group of people that vibe a certain way, and we can do that together and have that golden moment.
It's how do you capture again? It's,
right.
How do you capture that moment?
Right. But how real is it? is, to me, is the question. How real is that moment, you know? Like Guns N' Roses, for example. That was a real band. They had a real vibe, and they had that golden moment together because they were a thing. You know, when Axl went off on his own, you know, it wasn't really a thing. Why? Was it because he was the one that wrote the songs anyway, so it's not about the song. It's really not about how great a song you write. It's about like being in the right place with the right people at the right time in that magical moment of like having that energy together and like, you know, letting it out, you know? Yeah. Like if you're in that place, then you're in the right place, you know? If you're with the people that you can vibe with to play that song together and everybody's on it and like you're feeling it and that's where you're going, then it's something you might have created all together to some degree, at least. And so it's like, it's a beautiful thing.
What else do we have to say?
What else do we have to say?
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
It is about that, and that's the trick of recording. Is like, how do you capture those moments?
I distinctly see a difference now between your own pursuit of completion and let's say, your destination. Okay, and then you can pursue the destination of completion yourself and get there, but I don't feel like it's not the right place for you to go. I think I just think the right destination is with others, and that's what being in a band is about. Because being in a band is about I think about humility, you know, to some degree, because you have to create something that you understand it to be everyone's. Because if you think you're playing your song with 4 other people, then you're probably you know, but even if that's a reality, it's not the right frame of mind. And I don't want to complicate things too much because it's like my own complications, but, you know, I feel like the ideal, you know, my ideal is with a band, with the right people, and that's what I'm always going to go for. And if it never happens, it never happens, and whatever. But, like, that's my ideal, so. Any
plans other than finding the right people to put a band together to get out and actually put the stuff out there?
Yeah. My plan is to keep an eye out, that's all. I mean, I think it's just like you see what people you run into, and you try to feel them out, and if you feel comfortable around them and they're interested in your stuff, like there's, you know, Lava Well is what we're calling ourselves right now. That's the band. Hopefully it grows into, you know, more people. Then appreciate
Get
that.
that band together.
Yeah, right.
Start promoting it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that. I want to, but please, let's do it. I think it'll continue, and I think it'll happen. I think it's on its way, and I think, you know, all of us being together here is probably, I think, a sign to some degree of something that's happening. Something is afoot, and we're not. I'm not in control of it. I don't think I am. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
But again, Ike, thank you for inviting us up here and giving us this opportunity to talk with you and do this.
And thank you as well for your time and your effort, and it's a pleasure to have you here both.
Nothing else. We had some really good Greek coffee.
That's it. That's it. We had some good Greek coffee. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.